The ability to work in silence is a form of mental strength. Most people cannot sit in quiet for long. They need music, background noise, notifications, or constant stimulation just to feel comfortable. But real focus is built in silence. When everything around you is quiet, there is nothing to hide behind. No distraction. No escape. Just you and the work. Silence forces your mind to concentrate. It removes the noise that competes for your attention. It trains your brain to stay locked in on one task without drifting. And when you master that, your productivity changes completely. Working in silence is not about isolation. It is about control. Control over your attention. Control over your thoughts. Control over your time. In this video, you'll learn how to train yourself to work in silence, strengthen your focus, and build the discipline that most people avoid. Principle 1. Control your environment. Silence does not happen by accident. It is created intentionally. If your surroundings are filled with notifications, conversations, music, or constant movement, your brain is forced to divide its attention. Even small sounds can subtly pull your focus away from the task in front of you. Your environment shapes your mental state. When your space is noisy or cluttered, your thoughts tend to become scattered. When your space is calm and organized, your mind follows that same pattern. External order supports internal clarity. Controlling your environment means removing what competes for your attention. Turn off non-essential notifications. Close unrelated tabs. Put your phone out of reach. Reduce background noise as much as possible. Each small adjustment reduces cognitive load and strengthens concentration. Silence is not only about sound. It is also about visual and digital noise. A crowded desk, constant alerts, or open applications can be just as distracting as loud music. Simplifying your space creates mental breathing room. When you deliberately design a quiet, controlled workspace, you send a signal to your brain: this is time for focus. Over time, your mind begins to associate that environment with deep work. Focus becomes easier, faster, and more natural. Control your environment first. Silence begins there. Principle 2. Accept mental discomfort. Silence can feel uncomfortable because your brain is used to constant stimulation. Noise, music, scrolling, and background activity keep your mind occupied. When that stimulation disappears, your brain suddenly has nothing to lean on. That is when restlessness begins. This restlessness is not a problem, it is a withdrawal from distraction. Your mind has been trained to expect continuous input. When you remove it, your brain searches for something to replace it. That urge to check your phone, play music, or switch tasks is simply your brain seeking comfort. Do not escape it. When you stay in silence instead of reacting to discomfort, you strengthen your mental discipline. You teach your brain that focus does not require entertainment. You build tolerance for stillness. And tolerance for stillness is the foundation of deep work. The first few minutes may feel slow. Your thoughts may wander. You may feel the urge to move or distract yourself. That is normal. The key is not to fight the feeling aggressively, but to remain steady. Let the discomfort pass without acting on it. Over time, something shifts. What once felt uncomfortable begins to feel powerful. Silence becomes less threatening and more productive. Your concentration deepens because your brain stops expecting constant stimulation. Mental strength is built in those quiet moments where you choose discipline over distraction. The longer you can remain focused in silence, the stronger your attention becomes. Accept the discomfort. Stay with it. That is where real focus begins. Principle 3. Work with clear structure. Unstructured time weakens focus. When you sit down to work without a clear objective, your mind does not know where to direct its energy. This uncertainty creates wandering thoughts. You may start one task, then shift to another, then pause without clear progress. Silence becomes difficult because your brain looks for direction. Structure solves this problem. Before you begin working, define exactly what you are going to do. Be specific. A clear task gives your brain a target. When the objective is defined, your attention has something solid to attach to. This reduces mental drifting and increases engagement. Time boundaries are just as important as task clarity. When you assign a fixed period for focused work, your brain understands that it must concentrate within that window. Open-ended work sessions often lead to procrastination. Structured time creates urgency and commitment. Clarity reduces friction. When you know what to do and for how long, you eliminate hesitation. Silence becomes easier to maintain because your mind is occupied with purposeful action instead of uncertainty. Structure transforms silence from emptiness into direction. It gives your focus a path to follow. And when focus has direction, productivity increases naturally. Principle 4. Focus on one task only. Multitasking may feel productive, but it destroys deep work. When you try to split your attention between multiple tasks, your brain constantly switches contexts. Every switch requires extra mental effort, even if it feels minor. This not only slows progress but also reduces the quality of your work. You may finish tasks more slowly, make more mistakes, and feel mentally exhausted at the end of the day. Silence is most powerful when your attention is fully on one task. The fewer distractions or competing tasks you have, the more your mind can immerse itself completely. Full focus allows ideas to develop more clearly, decisions to be made faster, and work to be executed with precision. When your attention is singular, your brain can enter a state of flow, where thinking, analyzing, and creating happen naturally and effortlessly. Committing to one task at a time also trains your brain to resist distraction. It teaches discipline and patience, allowing you to stay in the zone longer without feeling restless. Deep work is not just about effort, it is about sustained attention, and sustained attention requires singular focus. The more you practice single tasking, the easier it becomes to ignore interruptions and maintain mental clarity. When you focus on one task, you make every moment of silence meaningful. Your mental energy is concentrated, your productivity increases, and the results you produce are stronger. You also experience less mental fatigue because your brain is not constantly juggling multiple streams of information. In short, silence amplifies results only when paired with undivided attention. Multitasking fragments your mind, single tasking strengthens it. True focus comes from dedication to one task at a time, allowing silence to turn into clarity, efficiency, and consistent high-quality work. Principle 5. Train your attention daily. Focus is not something you are born with, it is a skill that must be developed and strengthened over time. Your brain naturally seeks distraction, so uninterrupted attention requires practice. Short, consistent sessions of silent work are more effective than occasional long sessions. Even 20 to 30 minutes a day of dedicated, quiet focus builds mental endurance gradually. The key is consistency. Daily practice teaches your brain to remain engaged even when external stimulation is absent. Over time, the mind adapts to silence and learns to sustain concentration for longer periods without wandering. This strengthens your cognitive stamina, making deep work feel more natural and less forced. Daily attention training also improves self-discipline. When you commit to focused silent work regularly, you are teaching yourself to resist impulses, ignore distractions, and stay present. Your ability to enter a state of flow improves, and tasks that once felt overwhelming become easier to tackle. the longer you maintain this habit, the more automatic focus becomes. Silence stops feeling empty or uncomfortable, and concentration transforms into a reliable tool. By training your attention every day, you are building the mental foundation for higher productivity, clearer thinking, and sustained success. Principle 6. Build mental discipline. Working in silence is not just a habit, it is a deliberate exercise in control. Every time you resist the urge to check your phone, scroll social media, or turn on music, you are training your mind to prioritize focus over distraction. Discipline is the ability to act intentionally, to do what matters even when motivation is low, energy is drained, or external conditions are imperfect. Mental discipline is the foundation of all high-level productivity. Motivation is fleeting, it comes and goes depending on mood, energy, or circumstances. Discipline, on the other hand, is reliable. It is the inner strength that allows you to remain consistent and committed, even during moments of boredom, mental fatigue, or discomfort. This is what separates average work from exceptional results. Building this discipline in silence strengthens your brain's ability to act with intention rather than reacting to impulses. Every moment spent resisting distraction rewires your mind, training it to focus steadily, make better decisions, and handle complex tasks with clarity. Over time, this practice sharpens your concentration, improves time management, and elevates the quality of your work. Silence itself becomes a tool for self-mastery. It allows you to confront restlessness, push through mental resistance, and build resilience. The more consistently you work in quiet, controlled environments, the more natural it becomes to maintain focus under any circumstance. Even when distractions are present or challenges arise. Ultimately, mental discipline transforms your relationship with work. It turns effort into habit, distractions into choices, and challenges into opportunities. Practicing silence strengthens this discipline, making focus not just a skill, but a reliable state of mind that supports your goals and amplifies your results every day. Principle 7. Protect your silent hours. Not every hour of your day should be filled with noise, distractions, or low-value tasks. Some periods are naturally better for deep focus because your energy, clarity, and mental strength are at their peak. Identifying these high-energy periods and dedicating them to silent work is essential for getting your best results consistently. Treat these hours as non-negotiable. Silence during your peak focus time is not optional, it is a priority. Remove all possible interruptions, turn off notifications, put your phone on silent or away, close unnecessary apps, and avoid low-priority conversations. These hours are when your brain can think clearly, solve problems faster, and produce quality work without being pulled in different directions. Interrupting them reduces focus, slows progress, and increases stress. Consistently protecting silent hours trains your brain to recognize them as time for deep concentration. After a while, entering this state becomes easier and faster because your mind knows what to expect. This repeated practice builds strong habits, strengthens discipline, and makes it easier to stay productive even when distractions appear outside these hours. Silent hours also give your mind the space it needs to plan, organize, and make better decisions. When you work quietly, your thoughts are sharper, your problem-solving improves, and your ideas are more creative. These periods are not only about completing tasks, they are about building clarity and control over your work and your time. The more you protect and respect these hours, the more natural it becomes to work deeply without interruption. They train your mind to focus, strengthen your habits, and allow you to get more done in less time. Consistently dedicating time to silent work will help you stay productive, think clearly, and maintain focus every day. Principle 8. Master your inner dialogue. Silence is not only about removing external noise. It is also about managing internal noise. Even in a quiet room, your thoughts can distract you. Overthinking, worrying, or replaying conversations in your head can break your focus just as much as notifications. When you work in silence, you must learn to observe your thoughts without following them. Not every thought needs your attention. If your mind starts drifting, gently bring it back to the task. Do not argue with your thoughts. Do not fight them aggressively. Just redirect your focus calmly and firmly. Your inner dialogue shapes your concentration. If you constantly tell yourself that you are bored or tired, your focus weakens. If you remind yourself that this time is important and valuable, your discipline strengthens. Silence becomes powerful when both your environment and your mind are controlled. Mastering your inner dialogue allows you to stay steady, focused, and productive even when your thoughts try to pull you away. Control the noise outside. Control the noise inside. That is real focus. Working in silence is not just about removing noise. It is about building focus, discipline, and control. When you learn to sit with silence, resist distractions, and stay committed to one task, your productivity changes. Your thinking becomes clearer. Your work becomes stronger. Your results improve. Silence trains your mind to stay steady. It teaches you to rely on discipline instead of motivation. And the more you practice it, the easier deep focus becomes. Start small. Protect your time. Remove distractions. Stay consistent. Over time, silence will stop feeling uncomfortable and start feeling powerful. And if this video helped you, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more content that strengthens your mindset and productivity.